Good morning. I'm really happy to meet you. I'm your nutrition counselor, Francis, and you can call me Francis. How would you like to be addressed today?
Just says Frederick. That's
Frederick?
fine.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Frederick. Does this seat work for you?
Yes, it's fine. Thank you very much.
Great. Let's begin. Okay, so what brings you here today?
I'm just here to get some counseling, probably to help me with my diet, kind of like my lifestyle overall. So I just need help with that.
Okay. So today, I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your eating patterns. Have you met with a nutrition counselor before?
No, I don't think I have.
No? Okay. As a peer nutrition educator, I can provide nutrition education on only 3 topics. So the first one is eating on a budget. Second is reading a nutrition label. Or third one is eating a balanced diet. Do any of these 3 topics sound of interest to you?
I think the one on budget.
Budget?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, so I'll remember this as we talk today. Just a little housekeeping. I want you to know that you can stop me at any time if you're uncomfortable during our meeting. My peer is going to observe me and take notes about what I'm doing, but my professor, Dr. George, will only view this information. I will need your verbal consent to begin and also your signature on this paper.
Right here? Oh, put my name right there and then
Sorry.
don't worry about that. Today is the
28. Thank you. Okay, are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start today to ask you a few questions about you to give me a better idea of some challenges or support that might exist in your routine related to your eating patterns. So, what grade and year are you at SFSU?
I'm a second year and I'm a sophomore.
And do you live on or off campus?
On campus.
How's your commute to campus? Do you walk? Do you take?
I just walk.
Okay, and how long does it walk take you?
A couple minutes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so now the questions will be more food focused. But before I begin, do you have any dietary restrictions that you'd like to disclose with me?
Like allergies or something?
Allergies or preferences, anything?
Not really, no.
No, so you usually just eat?
Anything?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Okay, how often do you buy meals and or snacks out?
Usually
Like is
every,
on a scale of never, rarely, sometimes, and often, or always, sorry.
I know it's fine, pretty often.
Often? Okay.
Mm.
And how often do you buy meals out on a typical weekend?
Fast food or,
Yeah,
not usually, not very often.
so rarely?
Yeah, really.
And how often do you buy snacks out?
Ooh, often.
Often?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a moment and total your response. Now we will move on to conducting a 24-hour diet recall. We will be talking about the foods and beverages, snacks and nibbles that you had yesterday, starting from the time you woke up until the time you went to sleep. We will follow a 3-pass system. First, I will ask you to share a quick list of what you ate yesterday, and then I'll have you add in details. Then I will review it with you. While you're providing details, I want you to use common objects or measuring cups like these models we have here to assist you in being precise with your memory. How does this sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, let's begin. Okay, so what was the first thing that you had to eat and or drink
Oh,
yesterday?
I had 2 granola bars, about like the size of this carrot, like each of them.
Around what time did you have them?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. And where were you when you had them?
I was at my house.
Yes, okay. Did you have anything to drink?
Just some water, just a
Water?
cup of water.
At your house also?
Yes.
Okay. What was the next thing that you had to eat?
At lunch I had about half a cup of rice, half a cup of mixed vegetables, and I think some, what was it? Some tuna fish. Maybe about like this amount of tuna fish.
And did you have those together?
Yes, I had them together.
Around what time did you have it?
11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And for dinner, I kind of just basically have the same.
Do you like to meal plan?
Yeah, I like to meal prep. It just makes it easier, so I don't have to think about what I have to make
Yeah.
for the next meal.
And then for lunch, dinner, you said?
The same thing.
Okay. Okay, now let's add some detail to what you ate and drank yesterday. So did you have anything else to drink after that 1 cup of water?
Oh, I just continually had water throughout the day. So I have like a hydro flask that's like
Mhm.
32 ounce.
Mhm.
So I had 2 to 3 of those.
2 to 3 of those? Okay.
Yes.
2, 3. How many ounces did you say it was?
32 ounces.
32? Okay, and then did you have anything else to drink besides water?
Not just water.
Okay. And the rice, was it homemade,
It was just,
or do you remember the brand?
I think it was 3 ladies' rices from like
Oh.
Asian store or something like that.
That's my mom's favorite.
I don't know, I just like it. I also like the glutinous rice.
Mm-hmm.
It's so right, it just tastes so good. I don't know.
And your mixed veggies, do you remember where you got those?
I believe they were from Costco. I just don't remember what brand. Yeah.
Do you know which veggies were included in that mixture?
Some corn,
Corn.
peas, carrots, and green beans.
Okay, sounds delicious. And your tuna fish, do you remember the brand of that?
I think I just got it from like a fish market down in Stockton.
Okay. So, we're almost finished. I'm now going to review everything you've shared with me. Please let me know if there are other foods, drinks, or snacks that we left out. Okay, so, what time did you have your dinner?
I had my dinner around 5 o'clock.
5. Okay. So, you had 2 granola bars the size of one carrot. At your house at 7 a.m. And you also had a cup of water with it. And then at 11 a.m. you had half a cup of rice and half a cup of mixed veggies with this being the amount of tuna fish that you got from the market. And then for dinner you also had the same thing and the same portion sizes. And then you had 2 to 3 32-ounce bottles of water throughout the day.
Yes.
Yeah? Am I missing anything?
No, that's fine.
Would you say this is a usual day for you in terms of food and drink?
Well, I kind of ran out of like my other foods
Yeah.
that I prepped at the beginning of the week because I was kind of short on time, so kind of just tuna for this week. So it's not a usual week.
No? Okay.
I usually have 3 to to 4 different types of foods to eat
Okay.
throughout the week.
Thank you very much for sharing your dietary intake with me. Now, as a review, the nutrition education topic you were interested in was eating on a budget.
Yes.
Okay, is this still something you're interested in talking about in relationship to the information we just provided?
Yes.
Okay. My mentor has reviewed the information I'm going to share with you related to your selected topic. So what I would like for us to do now is to think about the topic you selected and the information you shared. I would like for us to work together to create a SMART goal for you at the level of change that you indicate. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. The most successful lifestyle changes occur when you make the goal SMART and understand your level of motivation/readiness to meet this goal. So to get a better idea of how ready you are to make a change, we will use this picture of a door. If 1 is not ready at all and 10 is ready, where are you in the scale?
Ready to do the SMART goal thing?
Mhm.
I think I'm ready. I'm ready to do
And,
this one. Like about a 9.
And then, how confident are you that you can make this change?
Say maybe about a 6.
6? Okay. Okay, so okay. Good question. Do I have to go with the 6 or the 9?
That's something I also know.
It might have to be 6.
This one.
Okay. Right here. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so thank you again for answering these questions about your diet and also about your readiness. From your response, it appears you're in a stage of uncertainty, but also readiness. This is a very common stage of change. Can I take a moment and provide you a little nutrition education about your subject? Okay. So you said eating on a budget. Here is snacks. Okay. So this handout will basically tell you everything you need to know. And for budget planning, you should plan out all your meals and snacks for the week. You should review recipes for needed ingredients. Planning is a really important part of keeping your food budget low, which will help you avoid wasting any food and will limit you from eating out, which in turn tends to cost more than making your food at home, which you already do. And you can start by planning meals based on foods that you already have in your kitchen. So for example, if you have carrots in your fridge, you can use those carrots for a stir fry, as a snack, or as part of a soup. You can be creative in the ways that you just incorporate all the leftovers that you have basically, or just random stuff that you have at home. And planning larger batches to be split into multiple meals would be would make buying and cooking food easier, which is what you already do by the looks of it, which is good. When planning out meals and snacks, think about how you can double or triple the recipe so you can have it for multiple meals if you're into that, because I know how some people don't really like leftovers.
Yeah, it makes it all maybe soggy or something.
Yeah. So, and then when you're going to the grocery store, you should try to make a grocery list of everything that you need, and bring your list to the store so that you try not to like stray away from your list, in case you really are, like, if you're really struggling on eating on a budget, grocery lists are the most efficient, like, way to get things like go get in and get out with what you need, like what you need to get from the store. And for shopping, marketing can influence our purchases, but you should only buy what is on your list. So choosing the least expensive version of your foods choose the least expensive version of your foods by comparing unit prices. So, like for this, for example, so one is $2.89, and this is $4.59. But if you look at the per ounce, this one is cheaper. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, this one is cheaper. Sorry, sorry for the confusion. Yeah, this one is cheaper. So this would be a better option to purchase over this one, because you get more bang for your buck. And then you can also compare prices between fresh, frozen, canned fruits and vegetables. So food options can be packaged differently, and that can influence the price. So usually fresh foods will be a lot more pricey than canned or frozen foods, but frozen foods work just as well as fresh foods do, especially if you're on a budget, because when foods are frozen, the nutrients are still there. And if you're buying canned options, you should try to buy the ones that are in water or say low sodium, because there can be a lot of preservatives and salt in cans or canned goods. So it's also advised to rinse them off with water to wash off anything that's added to them during the canning process. And another way this is my favorite way to tackle budget planning, is to look for low cost but nutritious foods. So for example, beans are really healthy for you. They have a lot of your vitamins and minerals. Peas, lentils, potatoes, eggs, peanut butter, canned salmon, tuna, and certain grains such as brown rice, frozen or canned fruits and vegetables. So listed on the handout, is it this one? Listed on the handout are a few food options that are high in nutrients but usually low in cost. Try to buy these at least as least processed as possible for the lowest cost. And the next one is to make your own snacks. So you can separate foods into individual servings yourself. For example, overnight oats is one of my favorites. I will just have oats, milk, and chia seeds, and just soak them overnight in the fridge. And in the morning, I'll just top it off with like raspberries or blueberries or something. That saves me a lot of time in the mornings, and also it just allows me to get creative with like the variety of stuff, like the variety of fruit that I am incorporating into my diet. And then it can also be done for snacks, like single servings of nuts or cut up fruits and vegetables. And then choosing sell-by dates to buy the freshest food possible. which will typically be found in the back, more towards the back. Because you know how in the front, they push things that are going to expire soon in the front, so.
But yeah, I tend to notice that, so I kind of just always reach for the back, because my mom always did that as a kid, so it's like,
And then for budget chef, meal prepping for the week. Do you have a few hours over the weekend or over the week to like meal prep
yeah.
for the day or for the week? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a helpful way to make sure you eat all the food that you buy, and preparing your food over the weekend on a less hectic day will make it a lot easier on you during the week. So what would be easier would be cooking large batches of food like brown rice, whole wheat pasta, or beans that can basically be added to like many different meals throughout the week. So even just cooking a large batch of rice or pasta can be used with different meals. And you can also get creative with your food because you already have your carbs down for that. If you meal prep with just like rice or pasta, that's already a base. And then you should try to make meals with at least 3 food groups in them. So making convenience foods more nutritious would work, like in the sense that if you're eating ramen, you can try to add frozen vegetables with chicken or tofu in your bowl. Or if you're eating yogurt, you can use plain yogurt and then add fruit or granola or anything you like in your yogurt. And then for quesadillas, you can also add in some vegetables, add in some beans, add in some rice. And then for budget eating, sticking to smaller portions will help make recipes last longer. It not only helps you make your food last longer, but it also helps maintain a healthy weight. Serve yourself a smaller amount and then decide if you're still hungry for more. This is one of my favorite tips also. It's just because it's on your plate doesn't mean you have to eat it now. You can pause halfway through your meal and decide if you're still hungry. And if you're not hungry anymore, you can save the rest for later. And that's one of my favorite tips because I always will have leftovers.
It's probably good advice, but you know, like sometimes I'm just like, I gotta finish it, I gotta eat it all.
Yeah. If eating out, order something that can be taken home. So you know how restaurants have like really big portion sizes and stuff. So usually you'll be able to take some stuff home from the restaurant. Or you can also order something smaller and add to it at home. For example, ordering 1 piece of pizza and bringing it home to add a side salad or to add an apple to it at home. Okay, so after hearing some of this information, do you see any links to your diet patterns?
Like what's with how like this budget?
Yeah, just, yeah.
Yeah, like when we were just discussing it, like you said, like there's a lot of like similarities, and already how I'm like planning out my food and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are. Okay. Where's my other paper? Okay. Okay, so let's create a simple SMART goal today about increasing awareness. Okay. Do you remember what SMART goals stand for? Yeah, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
You want me to read that down?
Oh, I totally knew that. I totally knew that. I just blanked on it.
Would you like to help me create a SMART goal?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is one thing that you want to change about the way your eating patterns, or like,
I think like sometimes my like eating patterns are kind of inconsistent because like in the mornings, I usually have different times for different classes, so I don't tend to eat breakfast
yeah.
at a set time, you know. So so today I have a class at 12:30, which is the nutrition class, which is at Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I have to wake up at 7 a.m. for an 8 a.m. So it's kind of like I eat breakfast at a, you know, different time every day. And it's always something like, oh, I gotta eat something really quickly, or I gotta like take my time and eat it, you know. So I either overeat or I don't eat enough. You know?
Well, did you like the prepping your meals overnight plan?
Yeah, for the breakfast thing, I was like, nah, I don't know. I never really think about prepping for the breakfast. I only think about prepping for lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good idea to prep for breakfast. Maybe like some yogurt or something like
Yeah,
that.
breakfast is easy because you can really just have some yogurt and like add a fruit to it, like maybe have bananas at your house somewhere lying around, and even if you just warm up 2 slices of toast or just 1 slice of toast, that's, I don't know. A lot of people don't really eat breakfast,
Yeah.
so it can get a little bit, it can be a little like, take a little getting used to, but my professors always say that if you're not hungry in the morning, you shouldn't eat until you are hungry.
Yeah.
But I do understand where that whole like having classes conflict can arise. So what would be your SMART goal for this?
Probably to plan what I'm going to eat the next morning instead of just like spur of the moment. Oh, I guess I'll eat that. That looks convenient.
Okay. That's a really great SMART goal. That's something I also need to work on. How do you have any other SMART goals that you want to make, or?
Maybe also probably like when lunch and dinner comes around, I should probably try to make it have more of a variety instead of just sticking with like a specific the specific meal I plan. Maybe not have like the same meal in the same day. You know, like how I said for lunch and dinner, I had the same exact thing. Like I should probably try to change it up because like I have some food in the back of the fridge that's just like sitting there. I should probably grab that and eat that.
Yeah.
Because the one in the front, I'm just like, that's right there, just grab that. You know, it's easier for me to eat. So probably just add more variety to how I eat it and when I eat it.
Those are really great SMART goals. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So your SMART goals are, okay, so how confident are you that you can meet these SMART goals using the same 1 to 10 scale?
I think I can hit a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you need to do to get a 10 on the ruler?
Like for sure that I'm gonna do it, that I'll get it, or yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably be more like actually get more groceries at the beginning of the week, just so I can be ready to like, especially like yogurt or something like that. Because I think that's what I'll eat in the morning usually now when I think about it. Because I have a lot of yogurt in the fridge and I have a lot of granola.
Yeah.
Maybe some fruits I'll just throw in there too.
That sounds good. Also, incorporating fruit could be a good idea.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of fruit in my diet.
Okay. So, what do you like about your present patterns?
I like how I don't eat too late, cause you know, sometimes people tell me, don't eat after 10, that's not good for your diet, or like your digestion.
Mhm.
I kinda eat like way earlier, like, the latest I eat, usually, when I'm at school, is like 7 o'clock. I don't like overeating too much either.
Do you ever
So-
get hungry? Sorry, do you ever get hungry after?
Oh,
Sorry.
well, some